While victory is best won with a sword, ranged combat is a good way of announcing yourself to your enemy. Kind of like a marching band, only with less music and more blood, and not as cruel. For a unit to be issued a ranged combat order, it needs to have figures in positions that have ranged icons, and is not in base contact with an enemy unit. So she stopped me from using these spear throwers by putting them into close combat. That was smart, but hopefully it also put both her units into range of this archer formation. That wasn't so smart. To see if a target is in range, you first decide which side of the attacking base you are firing from. For a unit to be in range, it must be within 3 formation-based lengths from the notch of the attacking unit's base to a notch of the target unit's base. Laying that out, we see that my archer formation can attack the front or left side of her undead infantry unit. Looking at the centaurs, we see that they are also in range, but I could only attack the left side of their base, as all other sides are out of range. Tough choice. I can't say I'm a fan of either stinking undead or men with 5 legs, if you get my drift. Before deciding, let's figure out how many dice I would get to roll in each attack. The unit currently has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blue range icons. There are several things that could reduce this die total. If a unit contains ranged combat icons, its codex will feature 1 or more blue sides to indicate which are the good sides to fire from. If a unit attacks from any side other than a blue one, it loses 3 dice from its attack roll. Both targets would be attacked from the front of my unit's base, so this doesn't help me make a decision. Next, let's look at the effects that terrain and other units may have on this attack. Remember that blocking terrain will stop any ranged combat. Luckily, I don't have any of that in this case, but to attack the undead, my attack would need to pass through these palm trees, which are hindering terrain. A ranged attack loses 1 die for every piece of hindering terrain or other unit that it passes through. And if the target of the ranged combat attack is in base contact with 1 or more friendly unit, it also loses a die. This is cumulative. So in this case, when attacking the undead infantry, I would lose 2 of my 8 dice, so I only get to roll 6 if I choose to do this attack. Looking at attacking the centaurs, I have a clear shot with no hindering terrain, but the centaurs are in base contact with 1 of my units, so I would lose 1 die for a total of 6 should I decide to attack them. So far, it looks like I could do more damage to the centaurs, but the last thing you want to check is to see if one of these attacks could hit a vulnerable gray side for the target. Just like in close combat, if you attack a unit on one of its gray sides, it must subtract 3 dice from its defense roll. Because I am shooting into either the front or side of these units, this doesn't apply. That decides it. The centaurs will be honored with my archer's attention. How many defense dice do you get?
2.
Ranged combat dice are compared just like close combat dice are. The only difference is that the attacker cannot take damage. So, in this case, I do 1, 2, 3 hits to her freakish half-man, half-ass centaurs.
Oh, the heroes of Greece are more a man than you'll ever be.
I am not going to ask how she knows that. To see how all the damage I did this turn decimates her centaurs, watch the damage video.